Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. More talks, more conversation. Okay, here we go. Where's that? I am with my cousin today, J. Robin Gould.
What's good? What's poppin'? Fresh out of Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? 704 the city. Yes, sir. Leo season, August 20th. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy birthday to myself, and yes, I'm doing that, yes.
Alright, y'all. So we're always having these crazy conversations. So today it's going to be pretty random. Some questions I came up with until we get to our pro-life and political stuff. That's going to be videos later because I told y'all I'm a little bit behind. I got to catch up. And yeah, before we get started today, what college did you go to? Tell them where you went.
Oh yeah, so I don't like college. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it a whole bean. All right, I went to Moorerealtalk College up in Asheville, North Carolina.
You want to make sure you look at the camera.
Okay, cool. I was being too casual right there. I'm not a professional on More Talks. You know what I'm saying? I went to Moorerealtalk College in Asheville, North Carolina. I played lacrosse there for a year, studied cybersecurity. And I mean, you know, I got the whole college experience. It's okay. Not too, like, you know, jazzed up about it. I'm not going to jazz college.
Well, okay, what high school you went to?
I went to Victory Christian. Fresh out of Charlotte, North Carolina, over there by Betty's Ford. Small private school, not too many people know about it.
It's a great school, you guys. I wish I would have went there and my education would have been a whole lot better.
Oh yeah, no, don't get it twisted now. It's an excellent program, but you know, I don't, you know, if you got kids,
throw them on in. Getting started, because I know y'all's attention span is like,
it's awful.
Let's start out with some encouragement here. What are 5 things that you would say a man needs to have, I guess, to be a man?
What 5 things that a man needs to be a man? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know, anytime I think about the ideal man, or you know, the man that I strive to be, first person I think about is my father. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, and as a child, I say around age 10, 11, he may not even remember this, but I remember it vividly. We was going up to see some family friends up in Durham, where they had some like alpacas. Mm-hmm. You know,
oh my
y'all
God.
don't know what alpacas are. They like llamas.
Yeah, I had to think about that. I was like, alpacas, okay.
Yeah, alpacas. Yeah, alpacas.
What?
When?
I was like, llamas, but they're not really llamas?
You know, they had a lot of bread, so I mean, you know, they had land, and why not have alpacas? So,
AKA llamas.
while we were, AKA llamas. What's the name of the dude? Cusco. AKA Cusco, okay? I was fascinated, and my dad told me, you know, try to give me one of them, you know, when we're men talks. Because we're men.
Right. Now that we're men.
That's that SpongeBob.
Exactly.
But anyway,
exactly. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways.
You know, my dad, you know, he's very biblical, you know what I'm saying, very religious, you know, Christianity, this, that, and the third. And, you know, he tries his best when he gives me advice to mix in the Bible, you know, spiritual wisdom with practical wisdom. And, you know, and in this case, it was practical wisdom. And he, you know, kind of gave me, not in order, but bullet points on, you know, what a man needs to become a man.
Yes.
Know, who is a man, you know, when he is a man, you know. 'Cause, you know, any dude can do, you know, anything, but a man is a man for a particular reason. The 5 reasons that he gave me is, number 1 is that a man is a provider, which is the simplest. Mm-hmm. A man can provide for himself and the things that which he wants to provide for. The key word in that is want, you know, because a man can have a relationship and may not want to provide for that female, so he doesn't. Look.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, a man's sole purpose is to provide for himself until one has a family. You know, and then being that family doesn't necessarily mean man and wife. Family is only started when you have a child. So, as long as one's being a father, there's a difference between being a dad and a father. It's a huge difference. As long as one's being a father, then, he has accepted that responsibility over him and himself, providability. Well, that's not even a word, but we're going to make it a word, providability.
Honestly, it
sounded pretty good.
Yeah,
Might want to Webster me on that. Nah, don't do that. That sounds retarded. Anyway.
Right.
But for one to provide for himself and his family, that's the first step of being a man. Oh, I am?
Yeah, come on.
Second step, is the maintain of self-confidence, right? The confidence of oneself. A man's job on earth is to be the no offense to my ladies out there because I'm all for equality. But a man's job on earth is to basically instill the order, to maintain the order, to be the protector, to be the upper echelon, the alpha. We have the testosterone to do whatever it is that we actually want to do with our hands. You give a man an idea and he can build it. I'm not saying ladies can't, but I'm just talking about the. We're
talking about men here, okay?
Just talking about men. You know what I'm saying?
What it is to be a man. All twisted, all right?
Yeah.
We got more conversations.
I don't want that type of conversation.
People, everybody else want to be included. You can't be included on every topic, okay? Sometimes you just gotta sit in the back seat and just listen, all right?
So, anyway, a man has enough self-confidence to provide for himself, going back to that first part, and to provide for his others, and to maintain that self-confidence throughout his daily daily activities, daily actions, meaning on the job, meaning that, how a lot of times one of the main things that happen on the workforce is you'll see some people not getting paid as much, whether it's female or just a less adequate male, not getting paid as much as one guy who seems to be rising up in the company. Well, a lot of times there's been focus groups and surveys done where they'll ask people, say, hey, well, have you simply asked your boss for a raise? And a lot of times females and those less adequate males, they say no. Well, why haven't you asked for a raise? I'm afraid he's going to say no. Well, you'll never know until he finds out. So, Steve don't want to ask for no raise. But Bob is getting all the bread because Bob has actually got the self-confidence to walk in a room and say, look, dog, I work hard every day. I punch a clock every day. I don't need to be getting paid $9.50. I'm an $11.50 kind of guy. Now, if you don't want to pay me $11.50, I'll find me somewhere else. Well, they're going to pay me $11.50. Right. And I'll make you pay unemployment. Yeah. Because a lot of people don't know how unemployment set up is, if you put in over 30 hours a week at one job, you can quit after a certain while. And all those taxes that come out of your check, they start paying you back with that. That's just a little secret. But anyway, that's some bad tips by the government, too. That's why we broke. But anyway, fact of the matter is back to the manly conversation.
Right, yes. I think we're on the third one right now, yes.
Number 3.
No, we're on the fourth one.
No, definitely the third one.
Oh, okay, Mom.
Definitely. Cause
in the back seat.
My bad, I'm sorry. Number 3. So, number 1, provides for himself. Number 2, self-confidence. Number 3, to be able to maintain his emotions. Now, that's a big one. All right, because believe it or not, sadly to say, we got a lot of emotional, men out here. Well,
yes.
Dudes who can't handle no type of constructive criticism or any type of criticism of any type at all.
Right.
It used to be back, even though I'm young as heck, it used to be back in the day, a man say something to another man, they disagree, they don't talk about it, they debate on it. If that debate increases, they go outside, they have a conversation. They cannot come to an agreement, they fight, and after they fight, that is it. Right. Nowadays, everybody so opinionated and Philly, and everybody want to cry.
Yeah, my feelings.
Yeah,
don't say that to me,
it's
Johnny.
Ridiculous. A man is able to not only maintain his feelings and keep them under control, but a man is also able to interpret how he feels properly without using any type of aggressive type of tone. Meaning that, everybody messes up. Don't get it twisted. Everybody can get pissed and start tweaking.
Right.
Anybody can start tweaking at any given moment. People start snapping and whatnot, start going everywhere. But however, one of the key things of being a real honest, honest to God, one of the keys to manhood is being able to control that and interpret how you feel without being too aggressive or too provocative, or not using profanity. I mean, that's honest to God. I'm working on it. God not finished with me, man. But hey, the best, the one of the strongest things about being a man and one of the hardest things to do is to not use profanity. And that's just real, honest, the truth.
Yeah, ain't that the truth, Ruth?
Being able to control your emotions, being able to always show self-control and reflect yourself as being the best man possible in character. And number 4 is protection. A man's duty to the earth is to protect. And that doesn't just mean protect what you own. That means to protect the earth in general. God put Adam on the earth not only to name the creatures, but to till the land, protect the land, and to have dominion over the land. Meaning that it is man's duty as men to take care of what we have been given to us from God. And that includes what's inside of it. And this is just, a small part of what I'm saying is to the females, the beautiful, wonderful treasure that God has given us. All right, it's our duty on earth to protect them, and that just means the ones that you claim as yours, meaning boyfriend, girlfriend, but that means every female, and that means emotionally, physically, mentally. We are supposed to encourage our females. We're supposed to lift our females up. We're supposed to enjoy not only having them on earth, but we're supposed to protect the ambience that they carry with them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like God's and even with animals, even though we have the dominion and our job is to hunt the animals, our job is also to preserve the animals for the kingdom. It just is what it is, but of course that's just number 4 is your duty to protect. You have a duty to protect and a duty to be, actually a better word, not protect, responsibility. You have a responsibility to be responsible over what God has given us on the earth. So many times and that's the reason why when a guy hits a girl, it's just so bad and awful. It's terrible. Never done it. Never will. It's disgusting. It's inhumane. Despicable. I wish I had more words to say. I'll come back later. And you gotta work on that dry cough. But anyway, fact of the matter is that we are supposed to be responsible over what God has given us, us being men. Because at the end of the day, we are the pillar of what's the word?
Pillar of salt?
No, what? No, that's Lot's wife. We are the top tier of what. We're not gonna act like he didn't just slay
Lot's wife. God.
No, but what I'm saying is we are we have we as far as strength. The fact of the matter is that the world's strongest woman is probably not stronger than the last strongest man. Meaning that in the strongest man competition. All right, well, they have male and female. Whoever is in last place of the males is probably stronger than the woman who's in first place of the females. Meaning that there's a duty of, we have something within us that, not all of us, there's also females, they be balling. But anyway, on to the 5th point on being a man. Just moving on. All right, and the 5th and final point ties all of them together is that a man's interpretation on how he loves. Okay, a man knows how to interprets how he loves without confusing what he is saying. Meaning that timid stuff that I want her in my life. I want my cake and eat it too. I want her, but I also want other female type situation. A real man don't do that. Real men don't cheat. That's just a fact. Now, boys and people who do this, who want to experience more to life and want to do this, that, and the third. I'm not going to say you not a man, but we're talking about a soulful, a responsible human being who cares and pillages for who he loves, and that being his woman. And a man who loves his woman doesn't cheat on his woman. It's just facts. If you love your girl, you won't cheat on your girl. It's what it is, because you love what you make time for what you love, and you make time for what you want, and you protect and you only pursue what you want. And I know that being a man, because men are hunters. We go out into the field, we want that. And if we really want it, we're going to keep chasing it, and we're going to keep getting what we want. Mm-hmm. But the moment that we have no desire for that, we go off and we get distracted by other things. And if that's a distraction,
you start hunting something else.
And if that's what you want to do, then be real. Don't play games and teeter-totter. A real man's known how to control his emotions. So that means you have the control, the responsibility to that female to tell her what is real in real life. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Go and give her the peace so she can live on and move on with herself. Now, however, I know that sometimes it do be hard because girls don't be allowing dudes to leave. That is a fact. But that has nothing to do with the conversation that we're having today. Honestly, like when you with your shorty and you really care about your shorty and you think your shorty the hottest thing on earth, you're not captivated by anything else. You can look at certain stuff. I may look at a beautiful woman and be like, wow, she's hot, but ain't nothing better than my shorty though. Ain't nothing better than my shorty though. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, the moment that you dwell too long on the thought of being with another woman before you even with her, you've already showed that you don't want to be committed to that shorty. So let her go.
All right. So my next question. Let's see. Let's throw everybody for a loop. Is suicide a personal decision? Should suicide be, I guess this is like an additional part to the question because I know I just asked one. I do that all the time. Should suicide be something that is legal for just oneself to decide? No repercussions for anyone that tries to commit suicide. You know, like they'll put you on suicide watch and they'll like strap you down or something like that and literally have somebody watching you. You can't, I think you can't take a shower.
Be allowed to just commit suicide without any type of repercussions or
right
to the person. Okay.
My answer is no. I don't think it's a personal decision. But
alright, so here's the thing with that, alright, because I believe in having multiple opinions. I believe you can have an opinion on one subject at one time and having another opinion on a subject at another time as you start to gain information or even neglect information. However, the way I feel about it is this. The biblical answer would be that that's absolutely incorrect. You're supposed to want someone to live. You chase them and you try to elevate them up, lead them to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow nobody to commit suicide. You encourage them and you take them and you love them for who they are. You love not the sin, but you love the person. So that's the Christian answer. The logical answer is people are weak. That's just a fact. Sorry. Some people can't handle life. I mean, some people go through so much and everybody's life is differently. Everybody's life is different. Differently was not the right word to use. Everybody's life is different. You know, some people's problems are way heavier than other people. But just because my problems may seem heavier,
than other people.
But here's the thing though, just because my problems may seem heavier doesn't mean I'm built for that type of problem. You can't judge anybody for how they're feeling. Because I mean, according to religion, the answer would be no. You have to prevent someone from committing suicide at all costs. According to secular worldview, or depending on how you feel about a person, if you don't care, you just don't care. I mean, you know, if you live in Indiana and somebody in Ohio was about to commit suicide and someone's like, yo, that dude committed suicide, and you're like, I don't know him, I don't care. Nobody can be mad at you for saying that.
Right.
Just is what it is. I mean, it's just so that's the reason why I said it's really it's an emotional answer. So it goes based off of who you are independently, number one, and number two, how you feel about suicide.
I would say we should intervene with someone that's trying to commit suicide because I feel like if someone's trying to commit suicide, there's some wires that are getting crossed mentally for someone to want to take their life away due to a lot of pressure going on in their life, personal life, stuff on the job, stuff with their family. And I feel like that person needs some type of release for what he's feeling like, because I feel like when people commit suicide, they just want to let go of everything. They just want to forget. They just want to stop thinking. They want to like dump it out, and they think the answer is just take their life away, like to end their life. But I feel like if there is, you know, a way they could not relate to, but just something that would help them feel more relieved without taking their life, I'm pretty sure we have multiple programs and other things that people can do and help.
But what makes it difficult is that simply because it is a decision made upon oneself, meaning that no matter what type of programs, and I'm not saying I'm team let them commit suicide either. I believe that, you know, if you have an opportunity to help someone with their problems, you should help them.
Right.
Call a hotline. Or whatever, call a pastor, do something, player. But the fact of the matter is that's still a decision amongst oneself, you know? Yeah. If you decide, if you decide to help someone that wants to commit suicide, at the end of the day, they commit suicide. They committed suicide. It's on them. It's not on you. So that's why at the end of the day, it's still an emotional decision.
Some stuff. Okay. All right. Last one, y'all. Last one. So, why would you say it's important for people to believe in something or you fall for anything? I know that's a very common slogan, but it has a lot of truth and power to it. It really does.
Okay. So let's just first, before I even answer that question, let's just tackle an issue that's gonna even come up.
Like religion?
No, not even religion. But let's talking about people who don't believe there's a God or don't believe.
Oh, atheists.
Atheism. Right. Let's just tackle that before we get into anything. If you don't believe in something, it means you're still believing and don't believing. So you're still applied to this. I'm just letting you know. You still have faith that there is no God. You still have faith that there is nothing. So you still believe.
Yeah, faith.
So I just want to.
If
You can't just not believe in just nothing. If you strongly believe to the point to where you want to study something, like all people who have a religion do, when they believe in something, they study it, they read up on it. Don't atheists read up and study on what they believe, right? Okay. So that means you're a part of this too. So, however,
yeah.
Go ahead and re-ask the question. I felt like we had to go ahead and tackle that because I like how they love to leave themselves out of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't believe it, but you believe in something. But okay.
Ding dong. All right. Why is it important to believe in something or you fall for anything?
Okay. Now, he who has no God is foolish in all his ways. Okay. That's the first thing. Second thing, if a man chooses to not have something to believe in, meaning that a man truly just lives his life based off his own instinct, because you do have people that really live like that. You have people who wake up every morning, they don't have any type of presumptuous call or plan to worship God or to worship anything, or they have no type of what's the word? They have no type of duty or no sense of duty to
There's no call to
be
action.
dedicated. There's no call to action. They just wake up and they live life as humans. I mean, there's really people that live like that. That's probably the.
Don't get a dog. Oh my God, I just got so scared. Oh, he bit me, y'all. That's why I got scared.
Eat my food.
He looks stupid as hell.
Yes, because when you believe in something means you'll always have a goal to achieve, because believing in something is believing in anything, really, honestly. If you believe that you can make it to the NFL and you put faith in that and you put actions and the works behind it and you have the necessary athletic requirements
Facts,
let's do, then you'll make it. You know, it's been proven time and time again. If you believe that you'll be a lawyer and you follow and you stay studious and you study to show thyself approved, you will become a lawyer. You know, it's just is what it is. You know, these things happen for people that truly deserve it. And to believe in something is believe in everything. So to believe in nothing means, you know, waking up every morning without a purpose or without an agenda. It's really kind of like, it's almost like being a zombie.
Yeah.
Except you just don't eat humans.
Yeah, I get terrible anxiety if I don't look at my planner every day or at least every other day so I can remember like stuff that's coming up. Yeah. Or if I just wake up and say if I wake up late, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day, I'm like, oh snap, like I ain't even stick to the plan. I start feeling all crazy and discombobulated. So that's crazy. I could never do that.
I mean, you find more people who don't have goals and dreams living in their parents' house when they're 38. So
yeah,
that?
It's crazy. It's like, so I always try
Isn't that crazy that exists?
Right. Like
people 45 years old still saying, hey mom, you know, did you go out and get the groceries yesterday?
I mean, I was blown by that, but I was really thinking of like, what would my life be like if I didn't have goals and dreams? Like if I didn't model, scratch all of that. If I didn't, and I am signed now, you guys. I did get signed to West Haven Management.
Awesome.
Yeah, I try to, like, if I wasn't a model, like, forget all this YouTube stuff. I'm not practicing sewing. I'm like, what would I be doing?
I mean, you know, as the church people say, if it wasn't for the Lord. Well,
that was the Holy Ghost.
The fact that the baby brought this back in the
Can
we give him a
that is so, yo, everybody be doing that, like, little arm thing. That's so stupid. But anyways, y'all. But, Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I already answered that question. I just feel like, that's just another. If you believe in something, you'll achieve something. If you believe in nothing, you may achieve something, but it'll be for nothing.
Facts, yo, facts. Where can they find you on Instagram, social media? Where can they find you?
Follow me on IG at Rob Still Standing. Literally, Rob Still Standing. No periods, no underscores. I feel like that's unnecessary. You can follow me on Snapchat as lowercase OG Robin, ROBYN, no
Make sure
I.
you put that Y.
Because Y is peculiar and unique. Follow my music.
Oh, yes, you guys.
Robington is my artist name. ROBYINGTON. ROBYINGTON. Check out my stuff. I do a lot of creative type perspectives in my music. So, closing remarks. Love More Talks. Being on here was fun. I appreciate her for putting me on here. This is family. Make sure y'all subscribe. Show her love. Watch the videos all the way through.
Thank you.
And, if you're going to watch something, watch to learn, watch to be entertained. So watch it all the way through. The only thing you got to do, at least you get to skip ad button. Y'all watch a commercial.
Yeah, skip that ad, bro. Actually, don't skip the ad because eventually, once I get my subscribers up and I get monetized, I'm going to need y'all to click that ad, boy. I'm going to need y'all to click that ad.
Click that ad. All right, y'all. I'm
Peace.
Hungry.
Make sure you, yes. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will have more conversation for you next time. Thank y'all. Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I don't even think he said that right.
I did.